The boy who learned to fly. 12-year-old Marcus stood at the edge of the basketball court, watching his older brother sink shot after shot into the hoop. Every ball seemed to glide effortlessly through the net, as smooth as water flowing down a stream. Marcus clutched his own basketball tightly, his palms sweating despite the cool autumn breeze. He had been practicing for 3 months, yet he still missed more shots than he made. Maybe I'm just not meant to be good at this, he muttered to himself, kicking at the dusty ground beneath his sneakers. That evening, Marcus' grandmother noticed his slumped shoulders at dinner. What's troubling you, young man? She asked gently. Marcus explained how discouraged he felt about basketball, how his brother made it look so easy while he struggled with even the simplest layups. His grandmother smiled warmly and shared a story from her own childhood. When I was your age, I wanted desperately to play the piano, she began. My fingers felt like they were made of wood for the first year. I played the same scale 200 times every single day, and it sounded terrible. But I kept going because I loved the music, even when I couldn't yet create it myself. She paused and looked directly into Marcus' eyes. Your brother has been playing basketball for 5 years, Marcus. You've been practicing for only 3 months. The difference between you isn't talent, it's time and persistence. The next morning, something shifted inside Marcus. Instead of comparing himself to his brother, he decided to compete only with yesterday's version of himself. He created a simple chart on his bedroom wall, tracking how many successful free throws he could make out of 20 attempts each day. On Monday, he made 4. By Friday, he made 6. Some days he improved, and other days his score stayed the same or even dropped. But Marcus kept showing up at the court every afternoon, rain or shine, hot or cold. He stopped focusing on perfection and started celebrating small victories. The day his shooting form finally felt natural, the afternoon he made 3 baskets in a row for the first time, and the moment he realized he no longer dreaded practice, but actually looked forward to it. 3 months later, Marcus' teacher announced that the class would participate in a school-wide basketball tournament. Marcus felt his old anxiety creeping back, but this time he remembered his grandmother's words and his own progress charts, now filled with steadily climbing numbers. During the final game, with only 33 seconds remaining and his team trailing by 1 point, Marcus received the ball near the 3 point line. Time seemed to slow down. He didn't think about his brother or about Mason or about what others might think. He simply remembered the thousands of practice shots that had brought him to this moment, bent his knees the way he'd practiced, and released the ball with steady confidence. The gymnasium erupted in cheers as the ball swished through the net. Marcus' team had won. But more importantly, Marcus had discovered something far more valuable than victory. He had learned that consistent effort, patience, and self belief could transform what once seemed impossible into reality. Welcome to the next one. Here, like we all know, the last set in our session is usually a writing session. Now, just like in the summary session, I'm just going to explain basically what you're supposed to do. I wouldn't be writing anything on the screen because at this point in time, I expect you to start writing on your own. Yes, expect you to start writing on your own. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to write for me and put it in the comment section. But before then, let's do some brainstorming together. The first thing you need to find is your topic sentence. Now, the question says the passage teaches about, now let's take that again. The passage teaches that consistent effort, patience, and self-belief could transform what once seemed impossible into reality. Write a paragraph about a time when you or someone you know kept practicing something difficult and eventually improved. This is more like a personal narrative. The first thing you need to do is find that time. Find that time. What were you struggling with? That's the first thing you need to look at. What were you struggling with? Now, when you're writing this, you may be pausing this video to listen to my instruction before you go to the next one. So we start with the first step. First step, start with a clear topic sentence that introduces your main idea. What were you struggling with? There's so many things that you can pick from, so many things you would have learned to do. Maybe it's a math topic that you're struggling with. Maybe it's an English topic you're struggling with. Maybe it's a particular topic you're struggling with. Maybe it's how to do something. Maybe it's how to perform a dance move. Yes, anything whatsoever. Just think about it. Make sure you have one that is clear that you can write as much as possible about. This is a paragraph, so you don't need that much. You don't need that much juice to write. So with as little as
some details, you'll be good. So let's move on to the next one. Now, the next one says add at least two supporting sentences with specific details or examples. Let's expand this. Let's make it better for you. This is good five. Let's be better. Let's make it five. Yes, five supporting sentences with specific details or examples. At least five. That means you're starting us how you felt while going through that the struggle, who you spoke with, what advice you got, how were you able to find a solution to it? Yes, how were you able to find solution to the struggle you were going through? How were you able to overcome the struggle, the challenge? Something you weren't so good at that you need to improve on. How were you able to overcome the challenge? What did you do? What are the steps you took? You can even add more than five supporting sentences. You can add way more than that. You can add more than that. What did you do? Who helped you? Where did those things happen? Those are the things I need to add for the second step. For the third step, add a concluding sentence that wraps up your thoughts. That means maybe an opinion or how you felt at the end when you later overcome that challenge. Yes, how you felt. That would be a very good concluding sentence because you were going through a challenge, you're struggling through something. Now you've gotten better at it. How did you feel? How did you feel at the end? What was the feeling? The feeling that you had when you overcome the challenge. That would be a very good one to wrap up the sentence, wrap up the paragraph with. Then combine all sentences into one well-organized paragraph. Remember, first you have a topic sentence, then the body, then the concluding sentences. And remember that the complete sentence. And also remember that everything must read well. There must be proper cohesion. That means everything must be interconnected properly. It's not you must use conjunction to connect everything together. The continuity of the idea is enough to make it cohesive. That means enough to make it well related. If you have any question, let me know. And to also help you further, I'm going to add the link to other paragraph writing sessions from grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and grade 4 in the description so that you can use those. So that you can use those to brush up on how to write a successful paragraph, a very well written paragraph. If there are any questions, let me know. And as always, see you in the next one. But this time around to be the next set, next series. Yes, next series, because this is the end of the series for this week. Till then, stay curious.